Today we are going over everything you need to know about collecting NECA figures. So if you're new to the brand or collecting in general, you'll be at least 10% smarter than you were before clicking this video. Some people would say as much as 90% smarter, but those people are idiots and nobody asked them for their opinion. Let's get into it. NECA, or National Entertainment Collectibles Association, has a long history of bringing some of our favorite characters from the screen to our hands. They were established way back in 1996, but finding out information before 2001 is actually pretty hard. If you're interested in a deep dive of the history of NECA, then check the link in the description for an article from ToyArk. This video is all about helping you get those sweet hunks of plastic. But first, let me know, what is the first figure that you collected? Was it a NECA item? What is it? For me, Ninja Turtles. Number 10. Perhaps the most important tip is to warm up your figures before you start bending the joints. Maybe it's the plastic, or maybe it's because they actually paint their figures unlike some other brands. Regardless of the reason, it's possible that the joints on NECA figures could be so stiff out of the box that you end up snapping an arm or a leg right off. The usual solution is to either soak them in warm water for a few minutes or use a hairdryer. Whichever route you go, just be careful not to overheat them. It is plastic after all. Number 9, their website, or rather, both of their websites. There's NECAOnline.com and TheNECAStore.com. But you wouldn't really know that since the NECA Online site doesn't even link to the NECA store. The NECAStore.com is exactly that, their store. But you can't just go there to buy anything, which makes for a weird store. They will do some exclusives throughout the year, like Toka and Razar or the Back to the Future accessory set. But to know they are doing those things, you need to get their emails. So let's sign up with the newsletter in the footer of their site. Oh, you can't. It just goes to an error page from MailChimp. Well, what about the other site, NECA Online? Yeah, sure, that's essentially their newsletter site anyway. It's a great place to see announcements and download visual guides to make sure you're getting all the figures you want from a specific line. Awesome. Oh, and it has a newsletter sign-up form at the bottom of the site. And it doesn't work either. You can fill out the info, but the submit button doesn't do anything. So what do? To get emails from NECA, you need to buy something from their store, but that's random, and you need to get emails to know when you can buy stuff on their store so you can get emails from future announcements. That brings us to number 8. Their social media accounts. They have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and according to the social icons on the footer of their website, they also have Google+, which ended in 2018. Okay, so they aren't good at maintaining websites. Whatever. Their social accounts generally post the exact same content across each platform, but it might be hours apart from each other, which is fine and doesn't really matter. Unless you are wanting breaking news, like when something might be available in the store or some specific timed event. So the best thing to do is to follow them on each platform you use. I follow them on Twitter, and I have alerts turned on so that I get a notification anytime they tweet, rather than just hoping it falls into my timeline. It feels like they post on Instagram much earlier than Twitter though, so you may find it best to follow them there. As far as their engagement on social, it's not great. Apparently, in years past, Randy Falk, their VP and General Manager of Product Development, would get engaged in the comments with fans, which sounds really nice. There's always someone out there to ruin it for the rest of us. In this case, some people were mad about something that doesn't really matter because they're toys at the end of the day, and they leaked his personal info like his cell phone. This caused a lot of crazed idiots to pester him to the point that he shut down his social accounts. Great. Thanks, you dumb a-holes. So, if you want to know what is up with NECA, you have to follow their social and just accept that it's mostly one-sided. If they comment, it's usually to only really nice positive posts, which is fine, but it doesn't feel like they are listening to the complaints. But maybe they are. I mean, they did retool the top of the turtle fan. Number 7, exclusives. Yep. Unfortunately, they offer exclusive items to specific retailers. You can get the TMNT movie figures from Walmart. Good luck with that one. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, they're hard to get. And you can get the TMNT animated series figures from Target. Then they have the NECAStore.com exclusives as well for both of those lines, along with many others. It really does make it a challenge, and if you're an international collector, you're probably SOL. shipping overseas, losers. They do sometimes offer their items worldwide, but not everything, so it's becoming really challenging for those completionists. Oh, and they are always in the collector spot of those retailers, which is usually near gaming and movies, except when they're not. Yeah, even though there is a collector spot in Target, they often have a section somewhere in the toy aisle as well, so keep an eye out. Number 6. Buying from Walmart versus Target. This is different from exclusives. This is about how you can get the products from those stores. For one, Walmart's website is a mess of third-party sellers, which means you'll probably see a listing from some scalper instead of Walmart. Rarely, you'll be able to actually order a NECA item online, but it happens. This means finding if a location has an item is just a gamble. While some people use brickseeker.com to track things down, it isn't very reliable, and you can often only get info about things like NECA 2-pack, which can literally be any licensed 2-pack. Meaning if you wanted a TMNT 2-pack and you saw 6 of them in that store, they might all just be gremlins. They're probably gremlins. Walmart also doesn't have a vendor tasked with getting their items out. It's handled like all their other inventory. What is a vendor? Well, this is what Target has, if you're lucky. A NECA vendor is a third party that is tasked with stocking all NECA items in your local Target. They set up any displays and ensure everything looks nice. And the good thing here is that those sections will likely be stacked to the edges with everything currently available. But if your local store doesn't have a vendor, like my 2 closest locations, then you may not see much of anything on the shelf. They won't be organized and you won't get the latest items. Unfortunately, Target is set up so that the NECA items arrive to the store with a label stating something like "for vendor only." That means nobody else is to touch it. The vendor shows up, unpacks it all, and then and only then does it get scanned into Target's inventory. So even if you have a barcode to have an employee check quantity for you, they might not show in the system despite sitting in the warehouse. I actually have a full video on what you can do in this scenario, and I'll link that in the description of this video. It can be very helpful if your store is anything like mine. A mess. Number 5, buying third party. Maybe you're looking for an older item or just can't find that TMNT Secret of the Ooze figure you've been trying to find for 2 months, driving around to literally 10 different Walmarts hoping something will show up, but no! Why would they ever show up when you are looking? It's just a stupid mess that you can't... Okay. I'm sorry. If you want a NECA item and you're willing to pay more for it so you don't have to keep hunting, or you're looking for a 2016 power loader from Aliens, just be aware of the pricing. Try many different outlets like eBay, Mercari, OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, and local toy or comic stores. Do your best to compare prices across different platforms so you don't overpay too much. I often have something in mind like the power loader and set alerts for new listings and check a few times a month. Eventually, someone will list an item at a much more reasonable price. Number 4, the unlikely location, costumes.com. Yep, a website that should only be selling costumes based on that name also sells collectibles, and the crazy thing is that sometimes they have these super old items show back up in their inventory. Just a couple months ago, they listed Ripley from the 2016 collection of Aliens figures, and it's always at retail pricing. It's crazy. And it happens with a lot of items, so sign up to get their emails. Number 3, online options. Along with the previously mentioned costumes.com, I would recommend online stores like Nerdzoic, Entertainment Earth, and Big Bad Toy Store. These are all very trusted companies, and Nerdzoic has a YouTube channel that I think you'll love. Number 2, become part of the collector community. There are many outlets for this, either online or in person. You probably have some local toy stores that are selling new and used figures focused around collectors, or maybe a comic shop that also sells toys. Then you have Facebook groups and Reddit threads. Whatever route you go, just be yourself and be kind. We are all sharing the same interest here, and we all have different opinions on things. Be respectful and be friendly. And with Facebook, that's a real challenge, but there are groups around NECA in general and other groups designed for buying and selling. And listen to me closely. Always use goods and services on PayPal. You don't know these people, and Facebook seems to have a load of jerks on it. Now, if you decide to do friends and family, make sure you can see some past posts where people prove they got the items and are a trusted seller. Over on Twitter, we use a hashtag CHC and Collectors Helping Collectors. It's a pretty large group of amazing people, and I am absolutely thankful for all of them. They are kind and welcoming to all. I have made some solid friendships over there, and I invite you to join us. With the goal of sticking it to scalpers, the CHC group is all about helping each other find items we can't get locally. Some of the group will make daily trips to Target and Walmart and snap photos of what's available. Shoot them a DM if you see something you want, and you just pay the retail price plus shipping. That's right, there is no service fee or anything. We just get it to you so you don't overpay. Number 1. This is the most important one. Have fun. Yep, that's it. Just have fun. Enjoy these figures and the nostalgia that comes with them. You may be a little embarrassed to tell friends or family that you collect toys, but we all collect something. You know, some people collect shoes, others buy Precious Moments figurines. I'm looking at you, Mom. Or baseball cards. Whatever it is, it brings you joy, so have fun. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any tips or suggestions that I didn't mention here, please comment below so we can all help all the new collectors have a successful experience with NECA or any brand. And be sure to watch this video here to see just how easy it can be to find those hidden items at your local Target. We'll see you next time.